Hello, Lily. Say, are you still planning on marrying my dear boy, Ethan?
Good evening, Mom. It's nice to hear from you. How are you?
Whoa, slow down there, young lady. You and Ethan aren't actually married yet. Calling me Mom seems a little inappropriate, don't you think? Sheesh.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean to upset you. Let me just start over. How are you, Donna?
Fine, whatever. Just answer my question, hun. Are you really going through with this wedding?
Yes, I was planning on it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have said yes when he proposed. Plus, our wedding's tomorrow, and...
All right, let me ask you this then. How much money do you have in your savings?
What, this again?
What about your parents? How much money do they make? They better be saving up for their own retirement. Are they in debt? Are you in debt?
Whoa, you really need to slow down, Donna. We've been over this already. Why do I have to share any of that information with you? I am marrying your son after all, so I can see why you're concerned about my financials. But everything else you're asking about feels a little intrusive, don't you think? You keep bringing up my parents. What do they have to do with anything?
I've told you this before. Stop responding to my questions with new questions. All I need you to do is give me your answer, and we're done. Why is that so hard for you to understand?
Well, as I've told you before, we don't have any debt. As for all your other questions, I can't answer them until I know what your intentions are.
Fine, I see how it is. If you can't give me a straight answer, even on the night of your wedding, I guess that's just how it's going to be. I've had enough. Don't even bother. I will see you tomorrow.
Okay, good night, Donna. Hey, Ethan. Your mom texted me again asking about my family's financial situation.
What? Again? Jeez, I can't believe she's still bringing that up. What exactly did she ask you this time?
The same set of questions as before, and the time before that.
I see. Dad and I have both told her it's not polite or appropriate to pry like that. But it just goes into one ear and out the other. I'm really sorry.
It's fine. I'm just glad at least you and Victor have my back.
We need to make sure we keep an eye on her at the wedding tomorrow. I hope she doesn't try to pull anything stupid. Worst case, if she does, I'm prepared to kick her out of the venue.
I really hope it doesn't come to that.
Same here. I'll talk to Mom again tonight. Make sure she doesn't try anything funny tomorrow. I'll ask my dad and my other relatives to keep an eye on her too. I'm really sorry about all of this. My mother making a scene is the last thing we need on our wedding day. I'm glad at least the ceremony went well. You were absolutely stunning.
Oh, thanks, dear. Now we just have to get through the reception. I hope it goes well.
Well, Mom's been pretty quiet so far, so I'm hoping that's a good sign. If she can behave herself for the rest of the day, everything will be good.
The scowl on her face makes me a little nervous, though.
Yeah. She's definitely not doing a good job masking her mood. But maybe she realizes she shouldn't do anything rash? All of our friends and relatives are here too, after all.
I hope you're right. All I want is for everyone to have a good time and for the reception to go smoothly.
I knew it. So you were after our money. You've been exposed, Missy. Ethan definitely won't go through with this wedding now. Oh, how unfortunate for you.
What is your problem? You yanked the microphone out of the MC's hand, then you started insulting me, calling me a money-grabbing gold digger. And then you poured wine on my dress and announced that the wedding was off. How could you do something like that?
Because I had to. You left me no choice. I've been on to you for a while now. I thought it odd that you could never give me a straight answer about your finances. Something smelled fishy. But listening to your father's speech made it very clear to me. You were only with Ethan so you could get your hands on our money. You were so close. You must have been ecstatic about the opportunity to marry the son of a CEO. Well, too bad.
Have you lost your mind? What part of my father's speech could have possibly made you think that? You better have a good reason for interrupting him, because that was incredibly rude.
I'll give you 3 good reasons. First of all, he said that you went to a vocational school. Your family must have been so poor that the option of going to college was never even in the cards. Second of all, your father said that he was sick. Therefore, he can't work. So that means, when my husband and I met your parents for the first time, he lied to us about working as a cook. And third of all, your mother works full-time. What woman would choose to do that if your family wasn't in need of money? Your mother could have been a stay-at-home mom. But that's not the case. So, there you have it. All the evidence I need to conclude that the only reason you were trying to marry Ethan was so that you could be the wife of a future CEO and take all our money. Not so smug now, are you? You deceitful low-class bimbo. You have no place in my family.
Uh-huh. I see. Fine then, the wedding is cancelled. I hope you're pleased with yourself.
I am, indeed. Now, get lost, you beggar. Lily, is it true? I heard that after you announced that you canceled the wedding yesterday, you actually carried on with it as planned.
Yes, we did. We were actually going to cancel the reception and send everyone home after you ruined my dress and my father's speech. But after seeing everything that happened, the staff at the venue felt bad and were kind enough to let us stay later than the time we booked the place for. Fortunately, we were the only couple getting married there yesterday, so they didn't even charge us for the extra time. It was very nice of them to make those arrangements for us. After we watched you practically skip out of the venue, happy as a clam, we carried on with the reception.
I can't believe this. So when Victor dropped me off at the house saying he had some errands to run, he was actually...
Headed back to the venue to join us, exactly.
Oh, how dare he do that to me? After I went through all the trouble to expose your true identity. You nasty double-dealing pauper!
Let me set the record straight because it seems you're confused about a lot of things. I don't need you to be making any more presumptions about me and my family.
Confused? Presumptuous? Please, I know exactly what's going on. You foolish little girl. You're still trying to trick me, aren't you?
Trust me, I'm not. You seem to be missing a lot of context because you interrupted my father's speech and never listened to the end of it. First of all, yes, I did go to a vocational school. I chose to go to the culinary school so I could help my dad out with the business.
The business? What business?
You seem to think he works at a restaurant as a cook? Which I guess isn't entirely wrong, but there's more to it. He's the head chef at the restaurant he owns.
I'm sorry, what?
I went to culinary school so I could learn the basics and prepare myself before I started working with my dad at the restaurant.
The head chef and owner of a restaurant? What are you even talking about?
My great-grandfather opened a gourmet Italian restaurant way back in the day, and our family's been running the business for decades. As for my dad being sick, that was back when I was in high school. Thankfully, his recovery went well. He's all better now and works in the kitchen every day.
But he never mentioned anything like that.
If you recall correctly, in the speech, he mentioned the time he got sick. He never said he was chronically ill. Plus, after you left, my dad got to finish his speech, and he made a mention of it. He thanked me for my support and for helping out with things at the restaurant during those difficult times. My dad wrote his whole speech down before the reception. So if you hadn't interrupted him when you did, the fact that he made a full recovery would have come up later in the speech.
I didn't think there was much more to it.
And about my mom and her career, she still chooses to work because she loves what she does. Becoming a counselor was her dream. She loved helping others ever since she was a little kid. She worked very hard to build up to the point she's at today. No matter how much money her spouse made or what job they had, giving up on her career was always out of the question for her.
Huh.
Everyone has different values. And it's natural for people to have different goals in life. But it's not okay to make assumptions about them or insult them because of it.
Fine. I admit that I didn't have the whole story, I guess. But that still doesn't change anything. I doubt your family's making much from running one measly little restaurant. I'm sure it's nothing compared to the massive corporation my husband runs. I still don't have enough evidence to be convinced that you're not after our wealth.
Earlier, you said you had 3 good reasons to believe that I was only with Ethan for the money. But I just explained everything. The assumptions you based your reasons on were wrong in the first place. Your arguments are completely baseless.
Oh, you're just splitting hairs at this point. You think you got me beat with your flimsy argument? None of that matters because you're not marrying Ethan. I won't allow it. He's going to be leading the company after my husband retires. Being with a poor peasant girl like yourself is detrimental to his future.
Lily! I'm so sorry about my mother's behavior. I have no idea what's gotten into her, but it's completely unacceptable.
I'm okay, Ethan. At least you and your dad are on my side. Of course we are. We know you and we know your character. You're a kind, hardworking, and loving person.
Thanks. I really appreciate that.
So, I have something I wanted to talk to you about, and I want my dad and your parents to be there to hear it. Can you talk to your parents so we can arrange a time for all of us to meet in the next few days? Alright, sure. What is it that you want to talk about, though?
I've been thinking about a lot of stuff. About the business, about our future. I want to make the best choices for us. Dad's been helping me figure some of it out, too. I think I reached a decision. But I wanted to run it by you and your parents first.
Okay. I'll check my parents' schedule and get back to you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. We'll talk soon.
Lily, answer your phone this instant. What did you tell my husband and son? There's no way they would treat me like this unless you were behind it.
I'm not behind anything, Donna. Victor and Ethan just told me what I assume they told you. Ethan said he wanted to take my family's name and cut ties with you. And Victor said he was going to officially announce that Ethan's cousin Sean will be taking over the company after he retires. Oh, and that he's also planning on divorcing you. At least that's what my parents and I were told. That's all I know.
You can't be serious! Why wasn't I part of this conversation? Oh, unbelievable.
Well, considering the way you behaved at the wedding, I'm not surprised that Victor and Ethan felt they wouldn't be able to have a rational discussion with you. It might feel unreasonable, but I can't really blame them.
This is an outrage. After 30 years of marriage and dedicating my life to being a devoted housewife and supporting my husband while he ran his family's company. What irks me the most is that Victor is telling me that when we split our assets after the divorce, he's going to make me take part of my share and pay you for the damages that I caused at the reception. $50,000! All of his relatives are saying it's only fair, but they're wrong. Everyone's being so cruel to me. I can't stand this.
Mom, I know you're upset, but please, stop taking your anger out on Lily.
Ethan? Oh, don't tell me you're with her right now.
Of course I'm with her. We just brought our papers to City Hall. It's official. We're a married couple now.
I can't believe it.
I took her last name, just like I told you I would.
What have you done?
I'm going to keep working at Dad's company as an employee, but I'm not involving Lily or myself in business operations.
But you're my only son. And you were supposed to take over the business, become the CEO. Do you truly think that what you're doing is acceptable?
I already told you, Sean's taking over the business, not me. And besides, this decision wasn't official until now. But it was practically decided for a while.
What?
You just assumed I was taking Dad's place, and made a whole big deal about nothing.
But think of the position that puts you in.
This puts me in a great position, because it's exactly what I wanted. Sean's great at what he does. He's skilled, innovative, and very capable. The company's in good hands with a businessman of his caliber at the top. You may have supported Dad at home, but you have no say in what happens with the company. It has nothing to do with you.
This can't be.
Lily's my family now. I need to go. I'm sorry, but after everything you did at the wedding, I've lost respect for you completely. And I honestly just want nothing to do with you. And as far as your relationship with Dad's concerned, go talk to him about it. I'm sure you both have some stuff to figure out.
Ethan, no. Please wait.
Bye, Mom.
Donna was furious and kept making a fuss, blaming me for everything. But Victor's lawyer told her that she should consider herself lucky that I wasn't suing her for assault or defamation, and that she should be grateful that the family wanted to settle things in a civil manner. I guess that scared her quite a bit because she signed the divorce papers immediately after. I don't understand why she thought what she did at the wedding and her divorce had anything to do with each other, though. Because she was nervous that I was going to threaten to sue her if she didn't sign. Either way, Victor and Donna split their assets after the divorce and Donna got a chunk of money. But she had to leave and go back to living with her parents. Bad news travels fast apparently, because all of her friends and neighbors knew about what she did. Donna overheard one of her neighbors gossiping about her one day and punched her in the nose. The neighbor had to go to the hospital and sue Donna for medical expenses, so the money she got after the divorce was completely gone. Her parents kicked her out of their house, and apparently she lives in a town far away now. All alone, working to support herself every day.
Wendy! You seriously need to just let me into your amazing mansion already.
Bree, are we really going to have this conversation again? How many times have we gone over this already? You do realize that the only person you can blame for Mom and Dad disinheriting you is you, right? Why do we have to go through this every single time we talk?
And just what does that have to do with anything at all that I'm talking about, huh?
I mean that I'm living with Mom and Dad, and they've decided that they don't want to share anything with you anymore. Even though you're my sister and their daughter, you would still be an unwelcome guest here. Don't you get that?
But it's been 8 whole years since I've left home. And it's only after I leave that you all move out and into that amazingly huge house. It isn't fair.
Well, I don't know what to tell you except that a lot can change over 8 years.
Well, if so much has changed, then why am I still ostracized from everything the family does, huh?
The only person you should be asking for that answer is you. You steal your friend's husband and cheated with him in Mom and Dad's old house. Mom and Dad still haven't forgiven you for it, and quite frankly, neither have I. None of us even consider you a part of the family anymore.
But that's horrible! How can you do that when we are family?
Bree, let me try and break something down for you. The only reason that I haven't blocked you on everything yet is so that I can try and field your calls and save our parents the efforts of doing so. But the truth is that I want nothing more than to block your number right now. I don't think of you as my sister. Mom and Dad don't think of you as their daughter. And you need to get used to that.
No! How can you just expect me to accept something like that? I will find a way to live in that huge house, if it's the last thing I do. Do you understand me? Wendy, are you there? I know that you're home, thinking you're so much better than everyone else on Earth, just because you get to live in that huge mansion. But that's not going to last for much longer. How does it feel knowing that soon you're not going to be able to live there anymore.
Bree, again? Seriously? Just what on earth could you possibly be talking about this time? Are you still trying to find a way to live here with us?
Of course I'm still trying. More than that, I'm succeeding. I did a lot of looking into just what you're up to these days, Wendy.
You looked into me? Okay then. Just what did you find out that's got you acting so high and mighty?
Well, I know that you're engaged to be married, right? And that your fiancé is some 38-year-old guy named Barry, right?
That's all correct.
So you're telling me that even a 40-something-year-old hag like you can back a younger man? We both know that to the average eye, the age difference might not seem like much, but getting any kind of younger man is a win for women.
Bree, literally, what are you even talking about?
I mean that conversely, a man would naturally want a younger woman for himself. That's why I've gone out and stolen Barry from you.
Wait, stolen? As in... Bree, please tell me you're not saying what I think you're saying.
Well, I had to do something to find a way to live in that big house of yours. And I know that the only reason you moved in there was because you married Barry. And he suggested moving in with Mom and Dad in that big house.
Just what is your obsession with trying to live in a house built for at least a whole family to live in?
Well, when I stole my friend's husband all those years ago, I was planning on moving into this huge house. But then, it turns out that the house was actually owned by my friend and her family. And so, that was never going to happen as long as with that old guy.
So then you're telling me that the whole reason you ruined your friendship and stole that man from your best friend was for a house? And now, you've gone and done the same thing to your own sister?
Ding, ding, ding! You guessed it!
Okay, well, I don't know how else to say this, but you're not gonna be living in this house just by stealing Barry from me.
Please. I did my homework this time. You're not going to be able to try and confuse me now. I know that the house you're all living in now is signed for by Barry. And since I've gone and stolen him from you, that means that soon he's going to tell you that he can't marry you anymore. And then you'll all have to leave. And I bet you've had quite some time to accumulate things to fill up all that empty space in a house like that. It's not going to be easy moving out of there. I'll give you all until the end of the month. Go ahead and tell Mom and Dad about this too. Let them know that if they want to keep living in that big house, that they're going to have to put me back in their will. And apologize for the way they treated me the past 8 years. But as for you, Wendy, you're going right out to the streets where you'll have to find for yourself.
Bree, I really just don't get it. What happened to turn you into such a covetous, selfish, mean person?
And just what is that supposed to mean, huh?
Well, first of all, you know that both you and Barry are liable to be sued by me for your affair, right?
Of course I know that. But I also know that Barry's family is filthy, stinking rich. And that however you want from us is going to be nothing to him. I'm never going back to the way I was 8 years ago when I left the house drowning in debt. And just the clothes on my back.
If you don't want to end up like that again, then I don't see why you insist on engaging in these wild schemes of yours.
Ugh, I already told you that it's always been a dream of mine to live in a huge house like the one that you're in now. I'm not pulling any schemes. I'm just taking the most important steps to achieving my dreams. I worked hard over the past 8 years to pay off all my debt. Just to find out that you were living in the lap of luxury this whole time. Well, that isn't fair. We're sisters. Why do you get everything handed to you on a silver platter, while I've had to work for all that I have now?
Are you really trying to accuse me of getting favorable treatment over you?
All I'm saying is that I did my research into you, and I know the only reason you and our parents are able to stay in a house like that is all thanks to Barry. So, now that I've stolen him from you, that means that I'll be the one getting to live there and not you.
I don't get it. You've come so far and been through so much, and yet it seems like you've still learned nothing. I mean, if you know that you can work that hard on your own merits, why not just find a regular job and buy your own place?
Because why would I when I've already found a man who'll give me what I want and who's head over heels in love with me? We're both a woman. We know that there's many different ways to get what we want. What's it matter how I get things as long as I get them?
And that's really the best excuse you can give for all that you're doing right now?
Excuses or not, the fact of the matter is that I've stolen your man, and there's nothing you can do about it. Did you really think you were finally going to be getting married? At 42 years old? You're way past your prime, and you're going to do old and lonely. Now remember, you only have until the end of the month before you need to be out of there. And tell Mom and Dad that the same goes for them, unless they don't agree to add me to their will.
I really just don't know what I'm going to do with you, Bree.
Hey, Wendy! You're already way over the time limit that I gave you to move out of there. I want to move out and start my new happy life with new rich husband. Why aren't you gone yet? I'll give you 3 more days, and then I want you out of there. Do you understand me? Oh, Wendy! Just get out of the house already! Don't you realize that you lost? Barry doesn't want you anymore. You don't have the right to be there. Get out of the house right now! Hey! Seriously! What is your deal? Why aren't you leaving yet? Are you seriously just going to squat there forever? I've already packed up all my things, and the only person standing in my way right now is you. So get out already! And I am beyond furious with you right now. You are seriously going to make me take drastic measures now. I have no choice but to force you out of the house. Wendy, I'm home. I'm standing right outside the front door. Now you march out here and give up the house. I don't care where you go to live out the rest of your sad, lonely life, but it will not be here.
I was wondering if you were really going to try and pull something like this after the 3 days were up.
Of course I would. I always follow through with my threats.
Bree, I'm afraid that the only person living a sad, lonely life right now is Barry.
What is that supposed to mean?
I mean, that we officially canceled our engagement about a month ago.
No, really. Well, I didn't know. But that doesn't change anything, so get out!
It changes everything. Someone already moved out, and that person was Barry.
You're not making any sense. Just tell me what you're trying to say.
Barry is currently living in a tiny little apartment about 20 minutes outside of downtown.
I still don't understand what you mean by that.
I guess I'll start from the beginning for you. It's true that this house did used to belong to Barry's family, and the deed for the house was in Barry's name. But 6 months ago, I became the deed holder.
But why? How did that happen?
Well, Barry's business was doing really poorly at the time, and he started getting bogged down with debt. Then things quickly turned even worse, and he had to declare for bankruptcy.
Bankruptcy? Are you kidding me?
I am not, but I actually own and manage my own business, which is quite large, if I may say so myself.
Wait, what?
So Barry, knowing this, talked to me and agreed to lease the house to me on the condition that when he pays me back, I return it to him. I got him out of a lot of financial trouble by doing that.
No, this can't be right. You're lying to me. Are you?
If you look up Barry's company online, I'm sure you can see plenty of stories about the bankruptcy.
Wait. Oh no, it's true!
Yep, told you so.
But what am I supposed to do? This is my last day in my apartment! I've already returned my key and everything! Where am I supposed to live?
I'm sure that Barry could find some room for you in his place.
Are you kidding me?
I mean, I heard that he's renting with a building known for having some of the smallest apartments in the city, but I guess your options are that or homelessness.
But this isn't fair! I stole Barry from you fair and square! I was supposed to live in this big house, not you! It was my dream, and now it's all gone. Wendy, please pick up the phone. Are you really going to sue me after I've been through so much? I just paid off all my debts and feel like I can finally breathe again. Why are you instantly going to saddle me with more? I went to Barry to ask for help and he said that he didn't have anything for me. Please, I'm begging your help here. You're my older sister. You have to do something.
Sometimes you just save people when they have their mind set on something, even when it's completely wrong. But thanks to her stubbornness, Wendy made the same mistake of sleeping with the spouse of the person who owned the house she was trying to steal twice. I worry about my sister often, but I just can't pity her at all when she lands herself in the exact trouble she blames on everyone around her. It's true, I did sue her and Barry for their affair. Part of the fees charged to them also included the cancellation charges for my wedding plans with Barry. They both had to split the sum of around $100,000. I wondered if Bree had felt like her life was just set back another 8 years. Although I'm sure if she did it once, she could get herself out of debt again. I just hope that she learned her lesson this time.